Welcome to Yoga Flow. So today, as of this recording, it's the day before Thanksgiving. And a lot of times in Thanksgiving, as great as it is, as much as I love it, family dynamics of when everybody is together can be very interesting. And we tend to hold a lot of those emotions and whatever it is that's going on into our hips. So we'll try to get into that a little bit today. Come into the holiday and weekend a little bit more relaxed and open before we get there. So a strap today for sure. We'll also get into the shoulders as well, and a blocker too. So, and if you need knee cushion, you can have that folded blanket as well. I'm going to go ahead and start with my strap in front of me, just so it's there when I have it. And then I'm just going to kind of move the flesh out of the way of the sits bones here, just so I can get a nice rooted seat, thinking about the ears, the shoulders, and the hips in alignment. We'll zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel, belly button into the spine. We'll do a slight tuck in the chin. And we'll begin to settle into our practice. So as you're here, and you turn inward into your body, notice if there's anywhere you need to soften. And as you soften a little bit more, maybe through that jaw, the shoulders, the hips, the belly, wherever, could you start to bring that focus in on the breath? So with the breath, as you inhale through the nose, expand that rib cage if you can. Pausing at the top of that breath for a moment. And we'll slowly exhale it out. We'll take that again, nice and tall spine. Inhale and expand. And slowly let it out. One more time, big inhale and expand. And slowly release. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen overhead. Turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail. We'll take that again, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 reach overhead, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Creating an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive? It can be anything you want, or maybe what are you grateful for? Is it giving yourself this time for a practice before things get maybe off schedule? Is it the upcoming time with friends or family? What are you grateful for? And from here, once you have that set, we'll inhale, take it up, turning the palms away. We're going to come down about shoulder height. Good. Now from the shoulder height, just go ahead and get some rotation in here. Good. And then from there, we'll turn the palms up towards the ceiling, taking hands to the shoulders, and we'll move forward and back. Good. Now try to keep the rib cage in. Think about separating the shoulder blades when you're here, thinking about squeezing them together when you take your elbows back. Good. And when you're ready, you can stay with that, or you can go into some circles here. And then maybe in the opposite direction. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll just take the arms up and take them down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Good job. Just kind of roll those shoulders back a little bit here. We're going to grab the strap here. So if you've got a metal D-ring on the end of your strap or belt, whatever it is that you're using, just kind of be mindful of that. Be mindful of your grip. I'm going to take this up. I'm going to reach, reach, reach. I'm tugging on my strap. Good. We're going to rotate, and I'm going to rotate towards my left and come to center, rotate to the right and back to the left. From here, reach that strap down, and then we'll lift. We'll come back to center. We'll take that to the other side. We'll reach it down. We'll lift. Coming back over to the left, reach it down. We'll pause, rolling the shoulders back, maybe looking a little bit more behind you. Nice and tall. Breathe and expand. And from here, we'll lift. We'll move through center. We'll take that towards the other side, taking it down, rolling the shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. And we'll lift and take it back. Good. From here, I'm just going to use this strap to get a little side bend towards the left. Breathing and expanding. Hand won't come all the way to the ground. We'll move through center. We'll take that towards the right. Breathe and expand. And coming back up. Good. Now I'm going to loosen my grip a little bit here. So again, be mindful of your D-ring side. So I'm going to take it up. Now I'm going to go towards my right. I'm going to take this all the way down. So I'm really lengthening and reaching through the left side. And I'm going to take this up and I'm going to look back there. And then I'm just going to see curve roll. And I'm reaching forward. Strap won't be taut and tight here. And taking it back out to the side. And coming up. If you need to adjust your grip, I'm just going to change this to the other side here. Do so. Good. So taking it to the left. Good. Maybe taking that down. Maybe opening. And then taking it back forward in a roll. Reaching. Taking it to the side. And coming up. Good. From here, I'm going to choke up a little bit here. So remember, we're going to move forward and back here. You want long arms, so take a wider grip on your strap if you need to. Good. And you just go at your range of motion. That might not look like my range of motion. So for me, sometimes I can come to the top of the hips. I could probably do that today if I forced it, but I don't want to force my body to do something it doesn't want to do. So I'm just kind of keeping where it's comfortable, but getting a good stretch. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to take that strap up into the side. We'll come back to it later. Good. Get any little movement here that's good for your body. So maybe that's a neck stretch, a neck roll, shoulder roll, spinal roll. Maybe you want to take a few hip hinges here. If you're crisscross applesauce, don't forget to change legs. And then when you're ready, we'll come and we will go into our tabletop position. So prepare your tabletop position in the way that's best for your joints. So do you need to have a little bit more cushion here for the wrist so you're not as hyperextended? Do you need to have cushion for your knees? So take care of yourself. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, the pointer, and the thumb. Good. Belly button is in. I'm going to inhale, shine the heart forward, tip the pelvis back, nice cow pose. Exhale, really round, mad cat pose. And again, inhale into cow, exhale into cat. Now, if you want to stay with these, especially if you're more of a beginner, you can do that. Otherwise, you've got your other two options. If you know them, you can go ahead and come, but I will review those for you. So you've got semicircle cat-cow, inhaling on the cow, exhale as you round through cat, sinking down on one hip, moving through center, rolling up into the other side into that cow pose, and then reversing that direction. So that's option number 2. And then option number 3, dynamic cat-cow flow, inhaling on the cow, exhale as you round through cat, take it back, child's pose. Good. Forearms are going to drop. Watch stability in your shoulders as you shift forward, baby push-up. Right into that cow pose. So take a few moments to explore. Move to the rhythm of your body and your breath. Nice fluidity. Just say my words, right? Fluidity, not rigidity. Good. And then from here, as you finish your last round, find a child's pose that works for you. So knees can be together as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. You can take your arms long in front of you. If your shoulders don't like that just yet, take your hands back by the ankles, let the shoulders relax. Forehead can come to the floor or to a block. Good. I'm drawing up and in from pubic bone to behind the navel. I'm expanding that rib cage as I inhale. Good. From here, I'm going to inhale, look forward. I'm going to lift a little bit. I'm going to walk my hands over to my right. As I do so, I'm going to walk the left fingertips forward. I'm going to lift my hips just a little bit, pressing into the right hand, sinking towards the left. Breathe and expand. Good. From here, we'll come up. We'll walk that back to center, half or full child's pose here to let the spine reset itself. And then when you're ready, we'll come up a little bit. I'm going to walk my hands over to my left. I'm going to walk my left fingertips forward, lifting the hips slightly. I'm going to sink towards, sorry, that's wrong. We're coming over to the left. I'm walking my right fingertips forward. That's it. We're going to sink towards the right as you press into the left hand. Breathe and expand. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll come up. We'll walk that back in, half or full child's pose here. And we're going to prepare for downward facing dog. So most people are going to take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. We'll tuck the toes. Good. We're going to lift the knees and shift backwards. I'm pressing in and forward into my mat, rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. My big toe and pinky toe mounds are engaged, and my hips, knees, and toes are tracking here. My head and neck are free. Good. You can lengthen and bend. You can stay there with bent knees, especially if you're tight in the hamstrings or have low back issues. You can walk your dog, bending one knee, lengthening the other. You can come high on the toes and drop the heels. Find yours. Good. And then whenever it is that you're ready, find some stillness if you took movement. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. We're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Good. Get into all four corners of the feet. Let the knees bend, let the head dangle. Breathe and expand. Good. From here, inhale, lift and lengthen halfway to the shins through the thighs on this first one, lengthening the spine. Exhale and bow. One more time, floor, shins, or thighs. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root through the feet. Engage the glutes, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. We're going to take a field trip to the top of the mat. Good. So from here, continuing to move. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, and we lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. From the bow, plant the hands. We're going to step back into a plank. So knees can be lifted or grounded here. Find your plank. Good. Be strong in the core. Try not to let the hips dip down here. Stay with your breath. Come back to the intention. Maybe we're grateful for that the entire class is not a plank. And then from here, if you are a flower and your knees are lifted, you can shift forward slightly without collapsing through the shoulders. You can come all the way down. I'm going to lower my knees first and try not to collapse as I lower all the way down. Good. Move this out of the way here. Good. So we're going to take the hands towards the hips. Palms can be up or down. Good. Drawing up from pubic bone behind the navel. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Just the upper body. Belly button in. We'll lift and reach. Half locust one. And then we'll come down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So remember, it's not about how high you come up, but how high can you come without crunching the spine. So we'll lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. This time we're only going to lift the lower body, belly button in tight, and we'll lift. And lower, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You can do either one of those or another full locust here. Big inhale, Zipping up through the front body, lengthening through the low body. Find your locust. And when you're ready, we'll lower that back down. Hands under shoulders or a little bit more forward into the side. Cobra progression. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button in. Good. Maybe you're in a baby cobra. If this feels okay for you in your low back, maybe you try a little higher. Careful not to let the shoulders be creepy. You want them relaxed and you want to be supported in the low back. So here's hanging, here's support. Find support. Good. Maybe you're higher. Maybe you want full down or that upward facing dog. Maybe we lower, tuck the toes, and maybe we find that. You can be on the toes or the tops of the feet. Only my hands on the tops of my feet are touching the mat. And then from here, I'm going to slowly lower that down. Hands under the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up into a plank, shift back to down dog. Everyone else follow me through tabletop, finding your downward facing dog from here. Find your breath. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Coming to blocks if you need to now. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain intention. From here, taking it up. Good. I'm going to take my hands together. I'm going to really press through my right side here as I side bend to the left. So if you're newer, have some balance challenges, feet will come about hip width apart or lightly wider. Those of you that are more advanced and you're okay with your balance, you can step the feet closer together or all the way together. Okay. And then from here, inhale, exhale, use your side abs, your obliques to come up. Reach, 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 zip up through the front body, finding a back bend. Inhale, exhale, reach, inhale, exhale, taking that side bend to the other side. I'm side bending to my right. I'm really pressing through the left side. Inhale, exhale, coming back up one more time. Reach, 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 zip up through the front body. Inhale, exhale, and we'll take a fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. From this bow, you can use blocks if you need to. I'm going to step my right foot back. Good. So from here, you can use the blocks again, or you can take your right hand to the floor. Back knee can be grounded or lifted. We're going to twist to the left. So the back knee being grounded or lifted is a power and balance challenge. Has nothing to do with your twisting ability. And then inhale, exhale, we'll take that down. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way. Lift the back knee if you had it grounded, planting hands, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. So flowing is always optional. Good. Once you've made it back to your downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. This time, the left foot's going to step back now. Bring in your blocks here if you need to. Back knee can ground or stay lifted. Left hand's going to come to a block or the floor. Opening to the right. Good. Inhale. Exhale, taking that down. Planting the hands, back knee lifts if you had it grounded. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. From the downward facing dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, and intention. Okay, continuing to move on here. Good. So again, beginners, those of you that aren't as good as your balance, feet are about hip width apart. Everyone else can step in closer together or together. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, we'll sit back into our chair pose. Good. So as you sit back here, find all four corners of the feet a little bit more into the heel. Zip up through the front body. And you want to lengthen the spine, but we don't want to flatten out the low part of the back. So you want to keep that natural curvature there. We're breathing. We're breathing. We're breathing. Maybe you can pick up the toes. Maybe you can move the toes. Inhale. Exhale, pressing through. Zip up through that front body again. Find a nice back bend. Inhale. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. Finding your down dog. From your downward facing dog, we're going to lift the left leg. We're going to bend that knee. Good. And we're going to open to the left, strong, even upper body, and close center. Open to the left and close center. Open to the left. Now you choose. You can hang out here. You can twirl an ankle. You can circle that hip. If you've got the space and the courage and you want to flip that over into wild thing, you can take it. If you're like, that looks cool, but I'm afraid to do that, then lower down your right knee. Roll over to the right. Pick yourself up and you're there. Watch your shoulder and wrist. They're stacked or shoulders behind the wrist. And then from here, based on where you went, in the way that's best for your body, find your downward facing dog. Now from the downward facing dog, left leg's going to lift again, 3-point, bending that knee. From here, I'm going to round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Warrior prep the back foot, heel to arch, or taking this leg out a little bit wider. Use blocks to help you be stable if you need to. Press to the outer edge of the back foot, get into that front heel as you rise. Warrior one. Good. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. Now, those of you that are not as flexible or strong, or you're newer, lengthening your front leg and taking your arms forward, that's going to be your move. Those of us that are stronger are going to take this into a bigger movement, which is going to look like this and coming forward. So I'm not really changing the angle of that knee because I'm pressing through the back. So find where you need to be. So remember, this is beginner move. And those of you that are a little bit more advanced will follow me. We'll do this 3 times. Big inhale. Exhale, take the forward movement. Inhale, take it up and open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now reach towards your warrior one, towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, take that path to the mat. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot's going to come back. You choose, take or skip a flow. So those of you watching me at home, I do not take every flow that I cue. They're there if you want them. You're always welcome to come to down dog or child's pose at any time. And then from here, we're going to take that all to the other side. So now right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. We're going to open to the right, strong, even upper body, and close. Open to the right and close. Open to the right. You can pause here, twirl an ankle, circle a hip. You can take it back a little bit more. You can take it into that flip. Remember, you can always put down the left knee, roll over to your left, pick yourself up. And then from here, when you're ready, in the way that's best for you, based on where you went, find your downward facing dog. Good. And whenever you're ready, right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. Round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Warrior prep the back foot. Use your blocks if you need to. Get into that front heel. Press to the back edge of the back foot as you rise with stability. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. Finding your warrior one. Zip up through that front body. So everything's the same as it was on the other side. Beginners, those of you that don't want to move The more advanced way, come here. Everyone else will follow me. Big inhale, exhale, forward motion. Inhale, take it up and open. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, take it up and reach. Warrior one, inhale, exhale, take that path to the mat, plant the hands, swivel up, back foot, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. Coming back to your breath and your intention. What are you grateful? What are you thankful for? For me, it's the ability to turn my hobby into a career, which is yoga and Pilates. And then from here, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend those knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain intention. Good. We're going to keep going here. I strongly recommend having blocks at the ready. We're going to prepare ourselves to come into gecko lizard pose. So big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, low bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose, take or skip your flow. You can always work on a plank here as well. Good. From the downward facing dog. Good. We're going to come, left leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. I'm going to round, step, or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Now I'm going to bring my blocks in here for this one. And I'm just going to let that right foot just swivel, 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 coming back so that that knee is behind the hip, but can be grounded. And some people might need to put cushion under there, and that's okay. So from here, just before we kind of come deeper, just kind of move forward and back a few times. Good. And then from here, I'm going to take this forward. Now I'm zipping up through the front body. Good. So I'm going to place my blocks right here. My hands are going to come on the inside of this foot. And for some people, this is going to be all that you do. And come a little bit more here so you can see. So others are going to take this leg out wider, but keeping hip, knee, and toe facing forward. Others are going to turn hip, knees, and toes out away from the body. Okay. Some of you are going to take forearms onto blocks or to the floor. You'll choose that. And because this is not the yin class, if you want to tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, and press back, you can do that too. Now, if you're down on the forearms, whether blocks or the floor, strong shoulders. We don't want to collapse here. So really press that floor away. Really zip up from pubic bone behind the navel. Breathe. Harder than it looks, I know. Good. And then from here, if your back knee is lifted, we're going to ground it. If you went down onto the forearms, we're going to come up. If you took your leg out wider or into external rotation, we're going to bring it back in line with the hip. Now, from here, I'm going to bring my blocks back in. Good. And we're just going to rock it back, and we're going to hold this for a moment. So I've got a soft, unlocked knee here. So this is locked knee. This is soft knee. Good. Don't worry so much about this hip is doing back here. And then maybe lengthen. Your hamstring, this hamstring will let you know if it's okay for you to fold in or if you need to stay where you are. Okay, now here's the fun part. We're going to put this into a little bit of a balancy flow. So this took me a little bit of time to master. Slower is better. If you go too fast, you'll lose your balance. And you can always just come forward and keeping hands on blocks if you need to as you come back, or you can release and maybe take a bow and come up, and we'll take a bow and one more time. Good. Now I'm going to hold this one up here. Hands can also return to blocks. I'm relaxing my shoulders. I'm zipped through the front body. And then from here, I'm going to take my hands back down to the floor. I'm going to tuck my back toe, lift my back knee, front foot steps back, You choose. Take or skip a flow. Notice how you feel on one side versus the other. And when you're ready, we're going to do that all on the other side. So right leg's going to lift 3 points, bending that knee, round, step, or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. And I'm just going to let that left foot just kind of travel back so I can lower that left knee down. Good. Find your alignment where you need to find it. Hands are going to come on the inside of the foot. You can stay here. You can take your leg out wider. You can go into that external rotation. Toes, knees, and hips turn away. You can come on forearms, blocks to the floor. Maybe you tuck the back toe, you lift and shift back. Strong upper body. Stay with the breath, come back to intention. And then from here, if you took the back knee lift, we'll lower that back knee down. Good. We're going to come up from the forearms if you took that. We're going to bring this leg back in if you took it out. Good. Bringing blocks in here if you need to. And we're going to shift it back. Good. So soft front knee, lengthening through the torso. And we breathe. You can fold in deeper if your front hamstring will let you. Good. So coming into that little movement balance challenge here, I'm going to start coming back forward. Remember, hands can stay grounded, or you can take it up into the balance. And then you move how you need to move. So we'll take it into bow, and we'll reach towards the ceiling. And we'll bow, and come towards the ceiling, and bow, and come towards the ceiling, and we'll hold. So hopefully you notice that your movement pattern might be a little bit different on one side to the other. It's easier for me on the other side than this side. This side, I have to pay a lot more attention to how I move. And inhale. Exhale, we'll take those hands back down to the floor. We'll touch the back toe, lift that back knee. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. And eventually finding your downward facing dog. Good. From here, inhale, look forward, bend those knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes. We'll rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to step out wide. We're going to come to Prasarita. Now, from this Prasarita, we'll go into triangle. So if you know that you need a block in triangle, have a block on each end of your mat, just so it's there in case you need it. And I never know, so I'm going to move my blocks. So from here, I'm going to take my feet out wider. Good. So as a reminder, the good rule of thumb, if you take your legs out and take your arms out, think about ankle and wrist. Some people are a little bit more flexible. You might be able to get out wider. That's okay. But find the edges of your feet, making sure the edges of the feet are parallel to the edges of your mat. We'll zip up through the front body. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, I'm going to hinge and fold. Good. So be strong here. And once my hands come down, I'm going to decide my path. Is it going to be right here and just hinging back? Is it going to be taking forearms down a little bit? Or are you going to follow me? I'm going to take my hands a little bit more forward, shifting hips back. So I'm still lengthening in the torso. I'm still pressing through the outer edges of the feet, so I'm not collapsing into my arches. And as I breathe here a few times, then I can notice and sense, does my body want to take this to the next level? Is it happy being where it is, or do I need to back off? So my body's letting me know it's okay for me to take my forearms down, so that's what I'm going to do. Not all of you will do that, though, so listen to your body. Shoulders are still in their pockets. And then from here, I'm going to lift, and I'm going to take my hands back under my shoulders. We'll come into a twisty here. So left hand's going to come under the face, shifting the hips to the right. I'm going to press through that hand and shoulder. I'm going to open to the right. Inhale. Exhale, taking that down, resetting the hips. Good. Right hand's going to come under the face. I'm going to shift the hips to the left, and I'm going to open to the left. Inhale. Exhale, taking that back down. Good. Hips back to center. From here, I'm going to swing my heels inward. So hips, knees, and toes are going to turn outward. I'm going to come into a little bit of a goddess squat here, bending the knees. Hands are going to come to the thighs. Good. And I'm going to make sure hips, knees, and toes are tracking here. So I don't want my knees to fall in. So really press through that outer edge. Watch your stance. Does it need to be shorter? Does it need to be wider? Do you just not need to squat as deep? Okay. So from here, just nice, gentle movement. Move to the rhythm of your body and your breath. Nice sunrise flow, one of my favorite little movements. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to come all the way up, pressing through the feet. Good. So I'm going to start on my left side. So my left arm's going to come down. I'm going to reach through that right side as I get another side. Inhale, exhale, coming back. Good. Right hand's going to come down. I'm going to reach through that left side as I get a side bend towards the right. Good. And then from here, coming back up. Good. From here, I'm going to turn my right foot in, my left foot out. Good. So I'm setting myself up for warrior two here. So heel to arch, or take this leg out wider. Arms are going to come long. Good. Watch your knee tracking here. Knee should track closer to the pinky toe. If you take your front hip back slightly, that'll help with that a little bit. And then think about one day shoulders and hips coming into alignment. Can we zip up? Good. I'm into that front heel. I'm into the back edge of the back foot. You can choose to keep that front knee bent, or you can lengthen it as you take it back into exalted. For this exalted, some people like to wrap here. Some people like to bind back here. Find what makes you happy. Some people don't like to do anything but just be here. Find what feels good to you and go there. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. Good. I'm going to lengthen my front leg. We're going to come into the triangle from here. So if you need to shorten or widen your stance, we'll do that here. Find your alignment, heel to arch. I'm rooting my feet into the mat like I'm trying to rip my mat apart. My front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. Soft front knee from the hips. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. When you can lengthen no more, come to a thigh, a shin, a block the floor, inside or outside will work. Your block has 3 heights. You can take that wherever you need to take your block. Think about a stacking of the shoulders. Maybe look up at that hand. Activate that throat chakra a little bit here. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll look down at that front foot. We're going to put a bend in that front knee. Good. Find your warrior two. One more time. Bent knee or long leg. Find your last exalted. Good. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. We're going to lengthen. Good. That left foot's going to turn in. Now the right foot's going to turn out. Good. So find your alignment that you need on this side for your warrior two. So my alignment's a little bit different on this side than the other side. Totally normal. Find where you need to be. And then from here, good. Arms out. Good. Finding your warrior two. Watch your knee tracking. And as a good test, I say this a lot, make sure you can see your front toes. Why? Because if your knee is far here past your ankle, you put yourself at risk for serious knee injury, a tear, for example. We don't want that. It's better to keep the leg long than bent if that's something you need to worry about. Good. So from here, you can keep that front knee bent, or you can lengthen it here as you come back into exalted. If you did an arm wrap or a bind here on the other side, find that or something similar. Good, inhale. Exhale, finding warrior two. And then from here, I'm gonna lengthen. So we're gonna come into the triangle from here. So readjust your stance if you need to. I'm gonna take my front hip back hip forward. I'm rooting my feet into the mat like I'm trying to rip it apart. And I'm gonna, from the hips, reach, 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 reach. When I can reach no more, come to a thigh, shin, block the floor, and now open up. Good. Try to look up at that hand if you can. If your neck doesn't like that, you can look down at the foot or wherever it needs to be. Good, and then when you're ready, looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee, finding your warrior two, and then with a bent front knee or a lengthened front leg, find exalted. And when you're ready, we'll come out of there, we'll lengthen that front leg. Good, we're gonna turn both feet in here, we're back at parallel. From here, we're gonna fold again. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. This time, take a fold that's good for you. Or are you gonna go back and do what we did before? Or are you gonna find a different one now? I'm still pressing through the outer edges of the feet. I'm breathing and expanding that rib cage. Breathing in gratitude. And letting go of things not serving me. So for example, there's always somebody that wants to have a bad attitude because they're unhappy. There's nothing you're gonna really be able to do to change that person's mind or outlook. So just accept it, that's who they are, and move on. Think happy thoughts, and just don't let them get to you. And if you need to take a break and go into a different room and take 10 breaths or so, then that's just what we do. And then from here, we'll come back up, pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Actually, scratch that. We're gonna take the heels inward, hips, knees, and toes turn back outward. Now pressing through the outer edges of the feet as you bend those knees. Good, and carefully walk back up into your squat. Good, get a few little motions here. Good, so we're gonna move into another little hip opener. I'm gonna give this to you in stages because not everyone will come into the more advanced one that I'm going to do. So you do what makes your hips and your knees happy, and be where you're stable. So if the lower you go, the more unstable you become, you need to come up higher and work, okay? So from here, some of you are just gonna move back and forth, and this is gonna be your move, and you're not gonna worry about anything else. Good, the lower you go, the harder this becomes. Good, and then maybe we lift. Good, and then if you can be here, maybe we open. Good, one more. Good, I'm gonna come back to center. Good, I'm getting into my feet. I'm gonna press through as I come all the way back up. Big inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. You can heel toe it in or you can hop it together. We're gonna come to the top of our mat and we're gonna flow down and stay down for the rest of the class. So from here, from the top of your mat, I'm all kind of loosey-goosey here now. So big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back into your plank pose. You choose, take or skip your flow. Good, and find your downward facing dog. Good. From your downward facing dog, we are going to come into pigeon from here. So if you're doing belly down, you'll follow me, and I'll demo that real quick. So left leg will come up 3-point, bending that knee. Round, we'll take that knee behind the left wrist, and you want to move down to where your hips are down. So, for example, if you're this way and your hip is really jacked up here, and maybe we need to put a blanket or something underneath there because a floating joint is a risky joint in this pose. If this is still too much, then come onto your back. You will cross your left ankle over your right knee for figure 4. You can be up, you can fold in, find yours. Remember, pain, numbness, tingling, burning, not normal sensations. Carefully back off if you feel any of those. When you're ready, we'll carefully come up from there. If you're on figure 4, roll over to your side, find yourself in down dog. We're going to tuck the back toe. Good, we'll take that back. If you want to take one final belly down vinyasa here, you can. Otherwise, we're going to take this into the other side. So my right leg's going to lift. I'm going to bend that knee. That knee's going to come right behind that wrist. If you need to come to figure 4 here, you'll cross the right ankle over the left knee. Fill in any space under that left hip so it's not hanging if you need to do that. And then you can stay up or you can fold in. Good, and then whenever you're ready, we'll carefully come up out of there. Good, from here, I'm just gonna take this leg back. Good, I'm gonna drop down, finding another child's pose. Let it be a juicy child's pose, knees together, as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. Good, you can take your arms long in front of you, hands can be by the ankles, find yours. And whenever you're ready, we'll carefully come up. Good, and we'll have a seat. Now I'm gonna bring my blanket back in here to sit on. Good. And then we're gonna come to log stack legs and eagle arms. So I'll give you different options if that's not quite for you. So I'm gonna start with my left foot right back. Get it right, Mary. Right leg on the bottom. Good. And my left leg is on the top. Now you're looking for ankle to knee alignment here, okay? So as you can see, I'm pretty open in my hips, so my knee can come all the way down. A lot of people are really tight and they might have a knee jacked up here. This needs to be filled in with something if this is where you want to stay. This is another risky joint to be floating here. If that's not possible for you, take your front leg and just take it forward, be crisscross applesauce, no worries, okay? So find what you're gonna do with your legs. Arms are gonna come out to the side. I'm gonna take my left arm on top of my right. Some of you are just gonna hug yourself here because that's your limit today. Others are gonna find the eagle arm wrap. So find what you need. You're welcome to stay here or you can fold in. Breathe and expand. Good, always reconnect with yourself. And then when you're ready, we'll come up out of there. We'll release and we'll shake, shake, shake. Good. I'm gonna carefully undo. I'm gonna take hands behind me. I'm gonna keep a long spine here so I don't wanna collapse through that spine and get a gentle windshield wiper. Good. We'll take a bigger one here in a moment. So we're gonna switch out those legs. So now whatever leg you had on top is now gonna be your leg on the bottom. Same thing, and this might not have been true of you on the other side. So do you need to fill in the space? Are you okay to be here, or does this leg need to be more forward? Okay, so be where you need to be safe. Good. Arms out to the side. Right arm's gonna come on top of the left. Find a hug, find a wrap. And then you choose. You can be here or you can take your fold. So in these, for the most part, you'll feel this hip stretch and the leg that you have on top or in front, but it's not uncommon or wrong if you feel it in both hips. I often feel it in both hips myself. And then when we're ready, inhale, exhale, we'll come back up. We'll carefully undo. Good. I'm going to carefully undo my legs here. Good. Now we'll come into a bigger windshield wiper here if you can. So I'm going to take hands behind. Good. So remember, you can keep it gentle. You can take it all the way over to one side and the other. And keep the spine long, so try not to collapse here. Good. And when you're ready, we are going to come onto our backs. So as you come onto your back, grab your strap again. We're going to go into dynamic bridging here. So be mindful of a metal D-ring if you've got that in your strap. So give yourself a little wiggle once you get down here, kind of settle into your space. Hips, knees, and toes are going to track, heels not too close to the glutes or too far away. I'm going to reach long here with my strap. Before I lift my hips, I'm going to take my arms up. Where's my range of motion? My range of motion stops right before my low rib cage wants to pop up. Now, for some of us like myself, we can take this all the way back without that happening, but just be mindful of your range. Good. So we'll reach forward, take it back to your range. Reach forward, take it back to your range. Reach forward. Now the hips are going to lift with us. Arms are going to lift as the hips lift. Go to your range, and then we'll lower that down. Hips, knees, and toes track. Be strong. And one more time. Good. And we'll take our strap here. Good. So we're just going to open to the inner thigh and get a final twisty here. So I'm going to take my right foot into the strap. Good. Both straps are going to come into the right hand. Left knee can be bent or extended long. Let everything kind of settle in. Find length from crown to tail as you take that leg out to the right. Good. So really anchor down through the left hip. It shouldn't be popping up. If it is, your leg is out too far to the right. And when you're ready, we'll bring that leg back up. I'm going to extend my left leg. I'm going to take my straps into the other hand. And then you choose. Are you going to arc over with a long leg or a bent knee? Or take it into a twist, keeping leg in line with the hip. Maybe looking to the right. Breathe and expand. And we'll come back to center. Good. We'll do a mid-air switcheroo here. Good. So right knee can be bent or extended long. Both straps are going to come into the left hand. Let everything settle in. We're going to take that leg out to the left. The right hip is going to anchor down. Breathing. Bring that back in. This leg will extend. Good. Switching hands. A long leg, 45-degree arc, or you can take that leg over, keeping in line with the hip, and maybe looking to the right. So remember, you can always stick a block under that leg if this is where you want to go, but you have trouble keeping it there. Never wrong with giving yourself more support. And then from here, we'll come back up. We'll remove that foot from the strap. We'll bring our knees in. Good. And then from here, we'll go into Shavasana. So you can let everything come long and flop open. You can put a bend in the knees. You can be on your side. You can be on your belly. You can bring props in here. have what you need to have. Set yourself up for relaxation for a few moments. Good, and then whenever you're ready, just settle in, make yourself about 10% more comfortable. I'll leave you here for a few, practicing the hardest yoga pose of all, being still. Come back to that intention of gratitude. Taking some deep breaths. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of fingers and toes. Choose stillness or taking knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body lowered or maybe lifted into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or moving any props out of the way that you may have used for your Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex through the feet, bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then whenever you're ready, bringing in both feet, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment, taking all the time you need here on your side. And when you're ready, we'll come up and we'll find a comfortable seat. Maybe the same one you started with, maybe a different one. Good. And then finding that nice tall sit, noticing how you feel now versus when we started the practice. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in heart center. Reconnecting with that intention of what are you thankful for? Gratitude, one more time. We'll take time to the forehead for good and true thoughts. To our lips for good and kind words. And to our hearts for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, Thanksgiving holiday ahead. Namaste.